And welcome back to the morning show. I am Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at
The fabulous 726 Studios in the heart of Roosevelt.
And we are here. Oh, I just caught myself looking at myself. I love it when that happens. It's our first day back, folks. We're a little clunky, but we're here and we're just riding it out today. So, we have an amazing guest. I'm so excited when I booked him because I knew he was going to be our first guest back for season 4. What a way to kick off the season. We have Bullseye The Clown here.
Yay!
Welcome back.
Well, thank you so much for having me back.
Yeah. Okay, so for those that are new to our audience, will you share a little bit about yourself? I mean, we know you're a clown,
Right.
but
Well, I wasn't always a clown.
That's
Actually,
right.
I didn't become a clown until I was, 47.
Wow.
Which is kind of old for a clown. but my dad passed away actually in 2018. And when my dad passed away, he left me some money and I didn't want to use it to pay for a bill.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to do with it. He never traveled, so he pretty much stayed around Ohio his whole life. And so I wanted to do something, travel in some way. And I remembered years ago seeing the movie Patch Adams with Robin Williams.
Yeah.
And I knew Patch Adams was a real person. And so I don't know, I was just kind of Googling him one day and I saw, oh, he's like, actually, he does clown tours. And I didn't really know what a clown tour was. And he was going to Russia in 2018. And I thought, that sounds interesting. So I had to write him a letter because he doesn't have email or anything like that.
Good for him.
So I had to write a letter. I said, I've never clowned before. I've done stand-up comedy, but I've never clowned. I've been thinking about this tour. And before I knew it, here I was on a plane flying to Russia. I was in Russia for 14 straight days. It was kind of like clown boot camp. I had never clowned before.
Yeah.
And there was 35 clowns, and we went to children's hospitals and orphanages and drug rehab centers and all kinds of places. And I just thought this was going to be like a one and done thing. I thought I'm just going to go there. I'm going to clown, do this thing, and then I'll get.
Obviously not.
Yeah, obviously not. Yes. well, because when I was there, like things happened that I mean, I guess I really wasn't. I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But even just something so simple as, actually going into our first gig, we were going to an orphanage. And on the way, I'm sitting in a bus, and we stop at a stoplight, and I look out the window, and there's an old lady holding a bag of groceries at a bus stop, and there's like 10 other people around, but nobody's paying attention to her. And so I just kind of tap on the glass. And she looks up, and I don't know what she thought when she saw a bus full of clowns. I have no idea. But and then I just started to wave, And then before I knew it, she kind of waved back a little bit, and then I got excited, so I was like starting to wave a little faster, and then she waved a little faster. And then all the clowns on the bus saw what I was doing, and they all turned and they all waved at the woman.
Oh.
And then by that time, the light changed and the bus started to pull away. And as the bus pulled away, I looked out the back window, and the woman was sitting down on the park bench, and she started to cry. Now, why she started to cry, I have no idea.
Yeah.
It could be that was the first time that day or that week or that month that somebody actually saw her.
Yeah.
Or maybe she was just happy she wasn't kidnapped by a band of clowns. I don't know.
Drug on the bus and turned into a clown.
Exactly.
Which must have happened to all of you, because how else do you get on a bus full of clowns?
But so just an interaction where I never spoke to anybody, where I never interacted really like physically,
Right.
other than just through a window. I saw the power that we had as a clown,
Yeah.
And I spent most of my life almost kind of shying away from the spotlight in a way because I was bullied as a kid. And so I tried to always blend in. I didn't want to stick out, and now you can't stick out when you look like this. So, yeah, exactly. So when you're walking through Russia, in a country and I never even thought about this before I went, but I don't speak Russian. None of the Russians spoke English, so
Right.
that never even crossed my mind. Had I thought about that, I probably wouldn't have gone. So, because I can tell jokes and I can do stuff. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. They don't understand English and I don't understand Russian. And so it all became physical. I mean, just like that one interaction.
So how did you make the transition? Because, I mean, you said you did stand-up before. So being physical and with verbal, and now suddenly going to the pure physical comedy.
It was difficult. I mean, really, it was difficult. And honestly, it was there was 2 weeks. We did a week in Moscow and then a week in St. Petersburg. During that transition, a lot of people a lot of the clowns who had never clowned before, like me, we kind of hit a wall because we're like, this is a lot of work because we're trying to figure out how to, make this a prop, whether it's a
Right.
telephone or and just being silly and blowing up balloons and doing things like that, and then not having that verbal aspect other than um, there was actually a little kid who I was trying to interact with, and he was like, and he was like talking, Russian. Um, and so I was just trying to play along. So I was like, oh, and the kid was like, no. And then he would say, and then I would do the same thing. He's like, no, do you speak English? And I'm like, yes, I speak English. and what I found was that all of the kids know English because their parents are trying to get them to learn English in case they
Okay.
ever need to leave Russia or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you have to go to the bathroom, find a kid because they can,
Good tip.
because they
Yeah.
because they can tell you where the
Because
bathrooms are.
they know how to understand your question.
Exactly.
So tell me how how does a clown build their identity? Like you clearly have a look and kind of something that you're about. How does that happen?
Over time,
Yeah.
real honestly, because this is not anything like I looked when I was in Russia. Patch Adams said, just bring something fun. I had a pair of striped pants that I bought on Amazon, and then I had, you remember National Lampoon's Vacation?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where they went to Wally World.
Yeah.
I found this Wally World had these big moose antlers, so I had these big moose antlers that
Okay.
I wore everywhere, and I had a giant red nose that I wore. Horrible. I mean, it was actually a horrible costume, but it was funny. And so, imagine walking through like the airport or through a mall,
Yeah.
or we actually went to the Russian opera. So imagine going to the opera and me walking through, looking with these big moose antlers and everything. So,
Oh my gosh, that's wild. Hold on, we're gonna hold for audio real quick.
So yeah.
Okay, are we back? Yay!
All right.
All right.
and so then I just started going to like, hang on,
It's you.
it's me.
The speaker wants you to be
Oh,
loud.
it's picking up your mic.
Is that what it is? Yeah. Okay. What do we do?
We're good? Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Um,
And then so after I came back from Russia and I did all the things that happened on that tour, and I thought I will continue to try maybe doing another clown tour and things like that. Then I started doing the things I probably should have done before I went, which I went to like a clown camp and I went to like a clown college and things
Okay.
like that afterwards, and learned makeup. And then I kind of like, oh no, I don't like that makeup, but I like that makeup. And so I kind of combined a couple makeups. And so you just pick and choose what you like from one thing and what you don't like. And that's just kind of how this transpired. And then I found somebody who does costumes, and so I actually have this costume made for me,
okay.
based on just things that I liked and what I felt right.
Yeah.
And then actually, I also work in senior communities a lot. And at one of my senior communities, some of the ladies in the senior community actually made this tie for me.
Oh,
So everywhere that I go, like, so I always let them know. I take pictures and say, now we're in Russia, now we're in Morocco, now
Oh,
and so they get to
nice.
see where their tie gets to travel to. So I have like
That's
5 or 6
awesome.
ties that some ladies in different communities have made for me.
I love it.
So that's kind of how all of this gets pieced
And the
together.
shoes, Marshall, those shoes do you think are
Oh,
better to walk
she
in?
beats me right there. Those are great shoes. We'll have to switch.
Although what I love is you think his feet are that big. No.
I do. I don't.
So yours are awkward because of the height, and his are awkward because of
I
the
know,
size.
yeah.
So.
And these are my little shoes. I actually have bigger shoes that I take with me when I travel, but I can't fit them in luggage, so I have to wear them in the airport.
Wow.
So I usually will wear some version of this costume
Does
through the
TSA
airport.
always make you take your shoes off?
Well, yes, they do. It is funny watching the guy at the conveyor belt. See him like watching a suitcase, a bag, a laptop, and then my shoes come through. He's like, he's looking around trying to figure out what. Yeah.
Right. Are you in candid camera? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. So I just see their face.
So last time we talked to you, you were getting ready to go to Guatemala.
Yes.
And so I know you've mentioned lately that this is something you've continued, but
Mhm.
I want you to share a little bit more about that work that you do now, traveling and
Okay.
and
So,
doing
and actually, so a couple of things new. So I went to Guatemala. When I was going on Patch Adams trips, we go into hospitals and orphanages, and we still kind of do some of the same things. But the one thing that I felt was missing from the tours that Hugh does was a component of like leaving something behind. I always wanted to leave something behind, whether it was food or clothes or some kind of monetary thing that they needed. And so um, working with the senior communities, one of the ladies there said, "Oh, my niece is starting a church organization in Guatemala, and she would love to have some clowns come down." So we started off by we were going to buy 200 backpacks filled with school supplies and take them to Guatemala. And that was going to be what we left behind. We still went out and we clowned with them. We had a pastor go with us. He delivered a message. And then we delivered the backpacks. Well, while we're there, of course, we noticed that, she said, "Look, these kids haven't eaten." And I'm like, "Oh, somebody should buy them some food," and not thinking it was going to be us, I was like, "No." And so she's like, "Well, we're here now. Maybe we should buy them some food." And I'm like, "Oh, well, wait a minute. Our mission was backpacks. Wait a minute. How much is food?" And then when we realized we could buy 200 pounds of rice and 200 pounds of corn for about 150 American dollars, we actually just pulled our monies together and we bought 400 pounds of food and we started bagging that all up.
That's amazing.
And then we started handing that out. And so that's kind of how my company, Clowns on a Mission, it's now a 501c3. So that just happened.
All right.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So now whenever people donate, they can actually get a tax write-off if they want to. But yeah, so that just happened like maybe a month ago.
Wow.
So we're really excited about that.
Yeah.
And so we're actually going back again in October. So October the 16th we leave, and we go back for another 7 or 8 days. And we will go, there's a senior community that we visit where the only way they eat is if people donate food to them. They're not subsidized by government or anything like that. So they only get food by donation. So we will make food and take that to them. We've kind of moved into a new little phase where we rent a van and we actually do a hot food truck out of the back of our van. So we make fried chicken and potato salad, and we make tortillas, and then we hand those out. And on our last trip, we were just there in February. We had about 250 people that we fed in one community. We fed the 60 seniors at that community. There's a community that lives in the local landfill. We fed about 70 people at the landfill. And then we also go shopping at leftovers in Costco called Summa. And we bought enough groceries where we could make grocery bags for everybody. So when we would leave the community, every family got a grocery bag.
Yeah.
Filled with like all their staples, like pasta and rice and powdered milk and just different things, because a lot of them don't have electricity. So and of course here we are buying them corn and stuff for them to make tortillas. I'm thinking, well, that's terrible. We should have just bought them tortillas already made. That's a lot less work.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting because we just take so many things for granted when we assume even about care. Like I remember my husband was doing a trip for St. Jude when he worked there at the Philippines, and one of the things they discovered was they didn't have electricity to be able to hook up like the machines in the ports or to talk to the doctors, and if they couldn't talk to the doctors with internet, they were gonna have to travel like 100 and some miles, and without a car. And so it's like all those things that you don't think about that are challenges that a lot of these communities face. And not only are you providing a service, but you're also bringing joy, which is so cool. Yeah.
Because as they say, laughter is the best medicine.
That's right. That is exactly right. And then every time we go, we try to do something different. So the last time we went, there's a community, it's called Entre Rios, which means between rivers. So they live between rivers, and they have all this vast land that they could actually farm. The only problem is they can't get the water from the rivers to go onto their land because there's no irrigation. So they have something called a pipa that comes through and they deliver water.
Okay.
But if you don't have a barrel or anything to put the water in, you get looked over. You don't get any water.
Okay.
And so we found 5 families in that community who did not have water barrels. So that was our part of our mission last time. Was after we gave the food out, then we actually drove through the communities, delivered barrels to the families that didn't have it. And it just so happened we were there about 15 minutes before the people was getting ready to come through. So,
wow.
So it actually worked out really, really well.
The timing was perfect.
Yeah. So now, of course, I'm trying to, think bigger, So now I'm like, we've got to try to find a way to get this land irrigated or get some kind of water source to this land. So that's our next project, whether it's trying to figure out somebody who can dig a well or, run a pipe or, siphon the water out of the river with a straw, whatever.
That sounds like a clown routine right there.
Exactly.
It's like, how many clowns does it take to get the river going?
So that's one of our next projects. And then one of the group that lives in the landfill, we would like to create like a community garden, like where we'd actually
Right.
start the garden for them, and then they could actually grow their own food, so they don't
Right.
have to go look for food or look
Yeah.
for stuff in the dump to try to sell to get food. So that's the next project.
That's incredible. Did you have any idea this would be your life?
No,
You would be
no. If you'd have told me whatever I was, I mean, I thought I was going to do stand up, and I was going to make it big, and then I was going to rule the world that way, and so I just happened to. My comedy is basically one person at a time. It's I do it for one little community here, one little community here, and I just make a difference. And so which leads to another talk. In 7 days, on my dad's birthday, actually on August the 9th, I'm releasing a book called Be the Someone. And so
Oh, nice.
although it's going to tell a lot about our mission in Guatemala, the point of the book is, we see need happening everywhere, all the way around us. Everywhere we go, we see need.
Right.
And just like when we were in Guatemala, and I said, "Oh, somebody should get them some food." What this book is wanting to propel forward is that whenever you're thinking somebody should, maybe that someone should be you.
Be that somebody.
So maybe you should be the someone, and you're not gonna have to. You may not have to start it right now, or you may not know how to start. Believe me, we had no idea. We took backpacks and we had no idea what this would slowly start to become.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that it's only going to go perfectly. And it doesn't always go perfectly. Even on this last trip, I'm like, I'm going to learn Spanish. I'm going to book all of our reservations. This is going to be great, great. So I contacted them by WhatsApp because they do everything on WhatsApp in Guatemala. And so I got our hotel reservations. I got everything all set up. We're in the van. We're 30 minutes away from the hotel. I'm WhatsApping them just to say, we're 30 minutes away. And they're like, we don't have rooms for you. So I've got a group. So I've got a group of clowns in a van heading to a hotel that doesn't have reservations for us because a bike convention came through town and all the rooms were full. And so luckily, since we had been in Guatemala 4 times now, so I was able to get on the phone and I'm like calling people after saying a few words. And so I was able to get on the phone and contact Alex, who works at a small cafe there, and he was able to kind of secure accommodations for all of us. So the point is not for everything to go smoothly. The point is to make the first step. And so that's what the book is. It's called How to Take Action in a World That Waits.
Where can people?
They'll be able to get that on Amazon on the 9th, August the 9th.
Okay, Amazon, August the 9th.
It's called Be the Someone.
Be the Someone. Okay. So, I fall in love with you every single time you come on. I just think you are one of the most incredible people, and you inspire me so much. So thank you for being our very first guest.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
Indeed, kicking it off. And also tell people how they can donate to your nonprofit, since that's
absolutely yes. You can donate by going to our website, which is www.clownsonAmission.com. It's not yet .org, but it's .com. Or you can also go to bullseyetheclown.com. You can find me on Facebook, Bullseye the Clown on Facebook, Clowns on a Mission. We have an actual group on Facebook, so you can find us on Facebook as well. So there are lots of ways that you can donate.
And if you fell in love with him just as much as I did, I'm sure you'll want to donate or get involved.
Or you can go on our tour in October.
I was going to say, or put your, take that step, and this could be your future.
This could be you. And don't forget, it's a 501c3, so it is a tax write-off if you donate.
That's right.
Yep. And I'm sure you'll give lots of information if people have questions about joining the tour.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
It always is. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.